Well, hello. I'm back for another location shoot. And this is I was inspired to put together, hopefully what's going to work out to be a quickie card. I'm going to use some of these. I may use all of them. I'm going to do one for sure on camera of these. These came from I think it was my December Simon Says kits. And these are the decoupages. It's Snome time. I ordered some more. Of course, they're at home. I just brought these 3 sheets. And one of these is loose because I wanted to test it to make sure I could do an A2 card with it, with the idea I had in my head, and I can. But I felt inspired to do an easel. So instead of it being the traditional fold side card, I wanted it to fold on the top. And I go, no problem. I just take 8.5 by 11 sheet, my 8.5 by 11, and I cut it in half. Not a problem. Until you remember that you only brought this cutter. I didn't bring my cutter pillar because I'm a dingling. I'll have it by tomorrow because Steve, Peanut Gallery, knows to call me and ask me, okay, what's the list? What's the list is the things that Myra wanted to bring that she forgot. It's already started, trust me. But but there is redemption. There is coming back from totally, blowing it. You can use this cutter. I use this cutter because I already tested it out. And what you do is you take it and very, very, very carefully, see if I can do this, you pull this out. And it can be done. Let's see if I can manage now to do it without breaking it. Eek. Okay, this was much easier when I did it a few minutes ago off camera and then put it back together. So let me push these in a little bit. Come on, babies. Okay, this is not coming out hello, there we go. So it comes up. Now, of course, the thing is that if you put an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, oh my goodness, there we go, against it, it sticks out from the bottom. You guys can see that. So you're gonna say, what do you do when you get to the bottom, Myra? Well, here, let me show you what we're gonna do. We're gonna take it, we know that half of 8.5 is 4 1/4. So really carefully line it up and pay attention to where you line it up on the line. And then you no longer have that guard. So your hand has to do the job. Whoops, there we go, of the guard. And you just carefully and slowly just, this is where you take a breath and you go down almost to the end. To right about there, okay. And then you're gonna flip it. You're gonna go ahead and line it back up at 4 1/4. And golly gee willikers, look. All I have is a little squoogel right there, and I will just take it off real quick. I will line this part up and then take off. There we go. And now we have two pieces of paper. Perfect the way I want them. All I've got to do now is score. Give me a second. I knew I was going to have something here. All I have to do is score these really quick at 5 1/2, and I will have top fold cards. There's my phone folder. We'll just go here with the handy dandy. This is my cutter pillar. I swear this is right now, hands down, my favorite. My favorite scoreboard. I haven't had a chance to write them and say, hey, can you guys come with like a little model like this? Because, oh my gosh, this thing is awesome. I love it. It's my favorite. So, and I have several of the Martha Stewart's. And then all I do is fold it in half, grab the other bone folder because this will mark it, and fold my cards in half really quick and line it up. And there we go. And now I have my 2 cards. Now we're going to come back here, and we're going to grab our penchants, our decoupage. And what I like about it is, it tells you doesn't necessarily, you do. It tells you where you go because you're going to be layering these. So I already punched this out because I wanted to size up what I was going to do. But remember that when you have a punch out, you're always going to have these little dinky tabs. So you're going to take your handy dandy nail file, and I just go through, take a minute, and just do that. It's just those little kind of attention to detail things. Those little tabs, knowing they're there, make me nuts. And I suppose that it's only because I know that they're probably whoever gets this card will never even know that they were there, even if I left them in. but I know, we will know. So we're just going to take this one down. This is the one I picked out, and they're all winter themed. The ones I picked, I wanted to be aware, can be either Christmas or they can be just a plain winter card. This one I wanted to do because it has presents, but look, they're hearts. So tell me this isn't a Valentine gnome card. Hello, it's still cold in most places. Very cold, very snowy. You know, we've already seen, you know, everybody's weather, what they're getting. So there's some pretty good snow up in Northern California, for crying out loud, even here. But what I'm going to go now is walk away again. Give me a second. Let me get Big Mama. Because heaven forbid, you guys know better than expect me to have my act together. Yeah, right. And let me just apply my tape all the way around. I am used to, you know, like doing like here and then break and then here because I'm saving tape. And I'm like, really? Why, Myron? So it was kind of like one of those epiphany moments where I'm saying, you're just a dingleberry. So let me make sure that is the top. And we're going to lay down the base piece and just kind of even it out so like lay it down. And then we're going to leave space here for just a sentiment, my die cut sentiment, or whatever I want to put there. So we'll set that aside for a second because now we're going to start pulling our die cuts. So if we just punch these out very carefully. Come on, Meyer, you can do this. I'll carefully punch these out. There we go. So that one is going to obviously go there. So we're going to layer that there. And then this piece comes out. And you know what? Hang on. I'm going to do this off camera so that you're not sitting here staring at me punching paper out. Hold on. I have returned. I have punched everything out. I have already gone ahead and off camera pulled foam dots, except, oh, and I thought I had filed everything, but I can see some fuzzy at the top of this mushroom that is not making me happy. And I missed putting a little foam dot there. So where are my little guys? I had to take one of these little guys and cut it down even further because I don't think, where's that little piece here? I think it's this little piece right here. That should be enough except now, that's not going to work. We're just going to have to take one of these and cut it. That should always be fun. We're going to take a little tiny foam dot and cut it even smaller and try not to snip my own skin off in the process. I'll put that one there. Get that out of the way. We're going to grab this one and we're going to let our tweezers help us a little bit there because my fat fingers will fumble this. There we go. So now we are ready to start layering this up, and there is not much. Let me just make sure I press all of these down. I am even this little guy. This is where I had to definitely cut it down because it's a little one. And then I had to right here. No, I didn't. I think I used the regular size. Okay. So now all I've got to do is remove all of these little guys. Set these not. I have to remember not to lay them on the mat because I can never get them to come off. They stick because everything, that's a lovely thing about this mat is it holds things in place. That's the thing that drives you crazy about this mat is it holds everything in place. And see, it wants to stick to me. And there's a part of me that thinks I'm going to go grab the bottle of glue because to line this up right, I'm going to need to use the glue and the foam tape trick of mine. So if you've seen, I just recently started demoing that to you guys. And for those of you who have not, I'm going to show you a neat trick that you can do when you're working with foam so that it gives you a moment of squidget. So give me a second. Okay, I've grabbed my bottle of glue. I'm going to take, there's a reason I have a rubber band in case you guys haven't noticed, tied around this because this grabs my lid. There we go. And now what I'm going to do is just squeeze out some glue on the foam tape because this glue, this little bit of glue will give it some slip and slide time and allow me to put it in place without going crazy because you know how this works. The minute it touches surface, that's it. It's all over. It's going to stick. And for first start, because you have to make sure you have it turned right side up because otherwise that's a problem. Alrighty. So now, again, because I have that squidget, that little squiggle time, I can line it up, lay it down, line it up, and I have a few seconds, I mean, not like, you know, hours, but enough time to line it up. There we go. And then I just press down. And all it does is the extra glue will, of course, help it adhere better. Although these foam dots, I've never had trouble with these. These are Best Creation foams. You can get them on. I've been getting these for years. They're phenomenally cheap. When you want little squares, of course, we all know my favorite source for foamies are. You know, anytime if you guys are paying more than 99 cents a package, paying too much. Get them at the 99-cent store. But like these guys, like this, if you want them like this size or this size, they're Best Creations. You can find them. I'll see if I can find a link, and I'll post it down below because I buy them off of Amazon. I mean, I still have a serious supply from my last time I bought. I think I bought a package, like 10 of them for, you know, $10, $9.99, I want to say. And of course, I have Prime, so I don't have to pay shipping. So yes, I'm still using up that supply. Come on, come on. There we go. I've learned I'm getting better at pulling these guys off. I go in from a little bit from the side. Unless I'm on camera, then yes, it's not going to work and everything is going to want to stick to me. Because that's the way it is. It all works great until you're showing somebody how to do it. And then you can't do it right to save your life. I know this. I have taught classes before. Whoops, there we go. Well, that backfired on me, huh? My goodness gracious. Come on. There we go. Holy cow, this one did not want to come. There's one more right here. If it's matte, I know it's still got paper in it because otherwise they're shiny. So now I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to put my glue on it. And this is really, I mean, there's no rocket science to the decoupage portion of this. These are cute little cards that seriously come together very quickly. They are MaddScrapper proof. If I can do it, trust me, you can do it. And they're stinking adorable. I mean, yes, they are a bit layered. I admit that. And there you go. It's going to cost you, you know, a few cents more in postage. I mean, a quarter or whatever. But if you're going to the trouble, I'm always hearing about, here's my theory. Okay. I hear everybody talking about, other YouTubers about trying, you know, to undimensionalize to make it a little bit cheaper. I mean, sometimes it does get crazy. Don't get me wrong. I understand that it can be a little bit nutsoid, some of them. But if you're going to go to the trouble of make somebody card and you're now starting to quibble about a quarter on the postage, okay, really? That is just my thought. Now, and of course, that doesn't mean, and we are not talking about Anna Griffin cards. That's a whole other animal. Those things are almost a package if you're not careful. Although my understanding, and I haven't tried it, but I'm going to, I have now recently heard from at least, I think, a YouTuber, and also I saw it, I believe, I belong to the Facebook group for Anna Griffin. They were talking about, instead of putting the card this way, putting it in upside down so that it's smooth when it goes through the machine. And that's going to make all the difference. It's not, you know, it's not packagey. So, word to the wise, we should try that. I'm going to try that. So when I try to mail one of these guys off and see what happens. Now I'm still removing lovely little tapes. This is the downside. I was really tempted to just grab my tape and just cut it up, and I don't know if it would have worked much faster because I'd save time maybe on removing them, but then I'm spending it cutting it. Oh wait, no wait, no wait. The glue. It's like in Fantasy Island, the plane. No, it's the glue. And you can tell right here I had to cut a little corner of it off because this one was too big, but I didn't want to use a bunch of, I was going to take 2 or 3 little ones or just one big one and cut that little corner off. So this is the arm right here. And we'll layer that. And excuse me that I do it this way because I just have to be able to see it so it lines up perfectly. I love that of me. Whoops. See, even though I was already trying to press down and it still gave me playtime. But there we go. Now this guy goes right here. This little mushroomy, oh my gosh, the mushroom is just so stinking adorable. This whole thing there is just like Crafters Consortium. I'm positive that the last time I looked, and it was already after Christmas, there were still some of these left. And there's a part of me that thinks we're going to order more of them while they're still there. Just because they're so stinking adorable. I don't think, I'm not sure if they're on the Crafter Consortium. I know that Simon Says has it. I know that HSN, I'm not sure. I don't think they have these kits anymore, but I believe they still have the paper pads. So, but not the little ones. I believe just the big ones, the 12 by 12 and the elf, I think. I'm not sure. Let me line the mushroom up here. But wherever I find it, I will find the multiple sources and post them down below in the description box. And there we have, whoopsie. There's a lot of play. When I did this, I should have possibly used, whatchamacallit, the other glue, the Nuvo glue, because it dries a little bit faster, but because now I'm going to have to let that stand for a second because this goes right here. And this, I don't want it to move again, so I want it to sit for a second. So we're going to do something else, which is, if you notice, we still have pieces here, at least like right here that's usable. I mean, and it's snow time there, so we can just, I'm just going to kind of sloppy cut them off like it here, and here, because this is going to be trimmed down. That could be so cute. I mean, I don't know. We'll see what I ended up, but it's usable. And then this piece, this is the piece I want to use in the immediate. So I'm going to, whoops, sorry about that. Caught it on I'm having to charge my phone that I'm using, or the camera. And I'm going to fussy cut this out. So this isn't going to be, doesn't have to be perfect. And for the trick in fussy cutting, in case those of you that don't know, is hold the paper with one hand, scissors with the other, and you do not move the scissors, you move the paper. And that is the trick to really good fussy cutting, and in general not being in a rush. So I'm sorry I'm taking a little bit of time, but I think it's well worth showing you guys that it really is just a few minutes to do this, but I do all the moving with the one hand. It's just the paper moves, not the scissors. And there you go. So here you hear all of my drama in my life. See, I could even put it here, but I'm not going to. Where I want to do it, and again, I'm always really, really inspired Amy R. Although, I mean, I could put it here, and I wonder if it's snow time. Nah. No. We're going to go with, I have an idea. I'm just going to stamp something down here. But my evil plan, and did this guy stick? Yes, he did. He is really, really well, the glue dried. So, but I want to do this first, is I'm putting it right here. I'm going to glue that right here so I decorate it so it's little. I got that idea. Amy R. decorates all of her cards on the inside. And she usually stamps it, but in this case, I don't need to stamp it. I've got these little bits left over. So, of course, we're going to use it. And we just put it on the inside of the card, and it's just that little added finish, that little extra pretty. Grab that, and then we're just going to put it there, bottom left of the card. And just adds a little bit of added interest, added pretty. Oh, look. I like. And then we later can come back and stamp. And I have a bunch of sentiments here. So on that note, we're going to do that too. What the heck? So yeah, maybe only a one carder. I'd rather do one card and make this, get it all done than rush through and push my luck with two. So now we have this little guy to do. So we'll see. As I'm talking to you, like, I talk myself into something, then I talk myself out of something, because there you are. I'm a lunatic. And just add a little glue here, add a little glue here. And we're going to grab my tweezers and my nail and grab that little end. And, oh, I grabbed it from the wrong end. Because it's upside down, actually. Whoops. And now I got the glue on my hand. So let's see if I'm still going to have time. It's still going to be fine. That guy goes right there. Right? I mean, shoot, man. I almost laid that down perfectly. It is, shoot, very little scoogling. But there we go. We have gotten the decoupage done in fairly short order. Now we're going in. I grabbed these. I'm going to grab, before I grab, I'm going to do this, which is put my lid back on. But see, I just pulled it out from under the rubber band. It's out of my way when I'm working it, but it's still right there to put it on. Now I've got two stamp sets, and these were from last year. These are from last year Simon Says kits, you know, Simon Says stamp kits. I think these are still available. So if they are, I'm going to link you down below to them. These are adorable. I never really used the stamps because I'm always talking about not being a stamper. But I did this one, and I think it's going to get used again. So, but what I'm going to do in the immediate is pull this out. But now I've taken to doing something different. Actually, I could have just done it all. Is pull this out, and wow, what I'm doing with all of these is just keeping them rather than buying new extra pockets. Is I just leave them in the cellophane that they come in and cut the tops off. And there you go. Now they're top loading. And voila, so now I can just pull them in and out from the top. There you go. The only thing I don't have is packing tape to do my flap. So although this one already comes flat, leave it to Simon Says. This one came flapped already. But what I'm thinking I want to see is if this Love You fits. And I used this in a Valentine's from last year, a Valentine's card I made. It's a little dirty, and yes, it does. Excuse me, it plenty fits right here. So I can put my Love You right here. Now, mind you, what I didn't think is, did I want to do this in a red color, or do I? No, I think I'm going to. Do I want to do it in a red, which I didn't bring with me, but I can make it come tomorrow. And I think that's where I'm going to leave off for right now. I'm going to come back. It will be tomorrow when I come back, but I'm going to stamp this. I want to stamp this in red. And all I brought was blank ink with me. Okay? So we will be back. While we're waiting for this ability to stamp, I'm going to do these two other cards up really quickly at the risk of this video going long. We hope not, because the next part I'm just going to, speed up as much as I can, because you guys already saw me do one in, just pretty much live time. You don't need to see me do it twice. I'm going to set these aside for a second. I'm going to then start filing and putting tapes on, and we're just going to see how fast Myra can go. Alrighty, I got these all done. Let me move these a little bit. Done, so all layered up. You will notice, if you're paying attention at all, that I opted not to use some of these pieces on Wheelbarrow Guide that was already going on 4 layers, and I felt that was dimensionalized enough. I mean, it's really cool, but come on, there are limits, so I don't think it really needs it. So right now, it's staying here. That's what I'm doing. I'm gonna save this little guy. He'll out. Trust me. I'll put him somewhere. But as you saw, I fussy cut the pieces left from the card and decorated the inside of all of these cards. So, and it didn't take me that long. It was well worth it. Just that little extra finishing touch on the card. And now we're ready to go. We're ready to rock and roll with just stamping these cards up with the sentiments. Okay, so give me a second and I'm going to be right back. Alrighty, so I let the idea percolate in my head for quite a bit. And to figure out what was I going to do with these cards for the sentiment. And I went this way and that way and that way and this way. And I came up with telling the peanut gallery when it's heading this way to bring me the little basket that I have all of the Valentines, all my Valentines dies and stamps and all of that. Because I knew I was going to find something. I wanted to do, one of them is definitely going to be winter themed. And it's probably going to be this guy, I think. It's going to get warm winter wishes. But these two, because, oh no, wait a minute. It might be this guy. I don't know. We're going to have to figure this out. But these two, because I have the hearts and all of these involved, there was a part of me that wanted to do a Valentine, and I may do one of them a Valentine. For sure, one of them is going to say, it's going to be birthday, actually, themed. And it's going to be this one because it has the presents. So I pulled out, and that's when I found it was a good thing I had to bring it, because I found this one, the diamond press, and it's this guy. It's the, what's this one called? It doesn't tell me. Oh, goodness gracious. But this is one of the sets, and I think it's still available. So I will link you down below, but it's got 2 panels, 2 beautiful little background panels, and it'll cut this out too. So it's going to make a gorgeous shaker card. And then I have words. So this is, so see, this is what it's going to look like. Cut out, that's what the 2 panels look like. And then on the back, I'm suddenly, at this hour, my computer goes nuts. Somebody is messaging me. Possibly a guilty daughter who was supposed to Zoom today with her sister and us and slept through it. So there might be some guilt involved in all of those messages. You know, who knows? I mean, we'll see. It is. There you go. I just saw the message. I had to look. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. But there you go. Anyway, it is what it is. Anyway, so let's get cracking with that. So we're going to get these done. So I'm going to go ahead and do Celebrate You for sure. And I think I may do Celebrate Love for the other one, or Love You. I'm not decided, because I think we can take these and still put a Valentine theme. You have to sometimes think out of the box with some of these. But we've got the Santa with the hearts, and you look at the little birdie, you know, and the little deer. And I think that at the very least, Celebrate Love is appropriate. So I already pulled out my die that says Celebrate and my die that's You. I've decided I'm going to cut, and I was thinking differently. I was thinking of putting this as a background panel, but my original idea was not working, and it would still work actually technically, except that I don't have a corner rounder here. I did not put one in when I pack stuff up, so there you go. Stupid should hurt. So instead, we're just going to take this piece and not let it go to waste, and I'm going to cut out my words. So I'm definitely cutting out my U, and I didn't grab my tape, and this is not my Anna Griffith. So hang on, guys. Hopefully you can still hear me as I walk just a few feet away and grab the tape. And we're going to go ahead and cut these 2 pieces out. So I'm going to stack them pretty. And we're going to make our cards, and then these cards will be done. And oh my gosh, we'll have finished the video. It's been a challenge here this week. I am so sorely out of practice dealing with a 12-year-old and homework issues. And oh, wait a minute, you have to go here. And where else do you have to go? And eat and work. It's like, you know, and I'm very lucky that I have the best boss in the world who understands that this week was going to be challenging. And like tomorrow, I have to take off mid-morning to take my mother to a doctor's appointment. But now we're just going to go ahead and run this through the marquee, for he is royalty, so he must, you know, he must each. And there it went on the floor, of course. Ooh, and this is something I wasn't counting on. I don't know why I didn't. Okay, so U, Y, where'd the O go? I have lost the O. Is it in the I? No. Is it here? I have Y and I have U. And I'll be right back as I look for the O, where it went. I found the O. And I already lined them up, kind of, sort of, but I need to move them. I don't know if I should use this, but I need to use this mat. And this mat is like great for keeping them in place, and it's also impossible to help. But I want to center these. They're 1 inch, so this is the fun part. And it's just like I want it perfectly centered. I'm just going to grab a piece of washi and use it as pseudo transfer tape. I think that looks pretty good. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just kind of has to be. So I'm just going to use a piece of the washi. And just so it doesn't get too sticky, I'm going to do this, which normally I would not do. But I'm just going to stick it on my hand, you know, do this real quick, and that will remove a nice chunk of the tack. And there. So I've picked these up. Now I'm just going to go ahead. Although now I think my U is kind of crooked. But we'll see. We'll see if this genius plan of mine works. And you know me, oh, come on. And of course, so much for the genius. Did you guys notice I picked up the O upside down? And we're hopefully going to get this glue to come out. Although I think I have to declog it, so give me a second. Let me go get a pin. Okay, so I thought to get a pin, but actually I thought better of it, and I went and grabbed my Nouveau glue, which is a little bit faster drying, which I need at this point. And because this will make it dry quicker. And I'm just going to very carefully add a little bit there. And a little bit here. So this is the part I hate. And I mock others. And now that mockery is biting me in the butt, because now I have to do it. But we're going to do This one with the presents is going to get, we put at least the lid loosely on it. U, and we're going to center it more or less, and I think that Y is going to have to move. So put those down, and then carefully remove the tape. Oh no, I don't know, it looks okay. I think I can deal with that. There's a part of me that wants to squiggle that Y in just a little bit, but all considering, I can live with this. So we've got U down. That's half the battle. Now we're going to take and we're going to die cut the Celebrate out of black. So now we have those two, and you guys know what I'm going to do. I'm going to make a puddle. I'm going to go ahead and use the Nouveau and hope that that doesn't backfire on me. I let mine already because I have to really squeeze it hard to get any amount of glue out of it. And of course, that glue dries really fast. That's why I love it. But on things like this, it's like maybe not such a great thing. Okay, I just need that up. I should grab the tweezers. But I'm not going to, because why would I? Why would I do something that would make it easier for me to work with? Okay, now let's see. So I don't have a lot of time. And I also have to get that glue off the top of this. Oh yeah, it's coming off. Okay. It's coming off on my fingers. Perfect. Because this will dry clear, but it dries shiny. I'm like my friend from Barely Art. Okay. So now we have that one done. And let me see if I can pick up the rest of the glue here. Right? I think I can. And we're very quickly going to get Celebrate down on that card. And it will make, I mean, it could be a birthday card. I mean, you know, we have winter birthdays. We have January birthdays. I think, oh my gosh, this is perfect. Absolutely. Whoops. I'm so glad I decided to go this route. Not that I'm, you know, celebrating myself. I think I'm all that and a package of paper. But this was a good kind of left turn I made. Yeah. There you go. So we have, oh my gosh. This is, oh, this is going to be dyes that are going to get used a lot. I really like that. This will be a great space filler. So now I have that. So I think, give me a second, because I'm going to go and do this one, Celebrate Love. So give me a minute. Let me die cut those out because I have to pull out. I have Love over here, and then we're going to have to do that same lineup thing again. But I'm also going to grab tweezers and the other bottle of glue and make this a little bit easier for myself. So give me a second. I'll die cut these out, and I'll be right back. Alrighty then. I have already die cut my Love, as you see there, and I took a little bit of time and I aligned it up like I showed you guys I did before. And then I've got my Celebrate, both layers cut and already glued together, because you already see me do it once. You didn't even see me do it twice. And now I'm going to take my piece of washi tape that I have, you know, made a little bit less tacky, so just enough to pick it up, but not overly so. And now I'm going to grab the Nouveau glue again and go ahead and write on these letters very carefully so that it doesn't, I mean, just enough to get it to glue down, but not overly so, or at least attempt to. And we'll write across that little piece, because there we go. I have mocked others and say I will never do that, and here I am writing on the back of layers, because that's really the only choice I have. I mean, I think I could. I think, you know, my puddle method might work, but the problem is that I'll get the glue on the tape too, and that's no good. That is not going to help. So, okay, now we're going to grab our card here, the one that we're planning on putting this on. We've just picked up. Okay, go away, little piece of black paper. And then carefully, we're going to lay down the Love. And this got a little bit wonkier than I want. It's a little bit lower than I want. And of course, the tape wants to stick. And I'm suddenly wishing I probably used the Barely Art, because I'm going to have to move these around a little bit. And I don't have a lot of time to do it in. This glue does not give you much play time at all. Like that E is already wanting to stick down pretty well. Ugh. Let's see if I can still fix that. I don't know. I think I'm going to have to, there we go. See? And there are some days when things just don't go well. I'm going to lift these up because I can still use the letters. And the upside is that I glued this layer down with tape. Although I think I need to make a new E. Oh, this E looks okay. Actually, what I think I needed to happen is I needed to, do my own. We'll see, because that E is pretty fragile. No matter what, this has got to come up. So we're going to fix this. Well, what I'm going to say is the things that happen here on and off camera don't happen anywhere on YouTube. I can guarantee it. First is as I die cut, and I did double layer the love as well, thinking that might reinforce the delicate parts of these letters. Suddenly I'm looking, and right here from the edge of the camera, the armitage, comes a spider, a daddy dog leg. Just drops down, Sandra says, hi, and then, scuttles off. And then while I'm working this, suddenly he came back across, and now he came off the edge of the counter here. I encouraged him greatly to move along as well. It wasn't, we didn't hurt him. We didn't hurt the spider, but we did take care of him. And then lining these letters up, this E is a problem child. I want you to know that. Nothing but trouble. But anyway, one of the things I realized, I was just going to mount this totally, my piece here. I unmounted and actually came right up with my Cricut tool. Then I remembered this, and I'm like, oh. I was just like, oh, this is not going to work. Or, either that or I just toss it, but I went to too much trouble fussy cutting it to not use it. So the card is otherwise still usable. So all I did was I cut a new panel. So we are going to take this panel and we're going to just glue it down on top of that one. We're going to I went ahead and grabbed this bottle of the Barely Art. And then I also found a pin. I remembered suddenly because I could not find the pin I was using yesterday. I'm sure it's like on the floor somewhere. And then I remember, wait a minute, I remember in the tools I did remember to grab was I grabbed these. I'm like, yay! So I grabbed a pin and unclogged the little bottle. But now all I'm going to do is just lay this panel down and cover the one that is messed up. And no one's going to know. Shh, don't tell, okay? It's just our secret and everybody else on the internet. And it's moments like these that I'm glad I don't have a lot of followers. But guys, you know me, I keep it real. I make a mistake. I own it. There you is. I saw it. I'm a hot mess. And now we move on and we fix it. And, and here we go. We're still making the card. It's still going to be pretty. Now it's going to be a little, no, because you do this before you do all of the layering, but I think we're going to be okay. Just be a little bit careful as I add the tape back in around the edges. There we go. And then we're going to lay this piece down, and in a hop, skip, and a jump, we're going to have, now make sure before I put this down, yes, that it's in the right direction, because that's all I need is to put the panel on upside down on top of everything else, because there you go. That would be something the TheMaddScrapper would do. Trust me, because it's not like I have never done it, but confess, you guys, y'all know, I'm not the only one that has glued something on upside down. I know it. So, but remember, guys, there's security in numbers. We've all done it. So we are a community. Okay, so now we got this all glued down. Now we have a super reinforced card, of course, but there you go. It's okay. It's all good. And now we're ready to now do this. Again, you know what? This is karma. This is karma visiting me. Divine retribution for all the times I've mocked. And I've said, oh, hell no, I'm not doing that. So here I am writing on the back of these letters, and this is what it is. It's biting me in the butt. That'll teach me to mock others. See, God is saying, you think I was going to let that pass? No, child. You need to learn. I have learned. We will no longer mock. We will be good. Now I'm using my Barely Art glue just in case to give me, extra fiddly for time, and because this is a thinner nozzle, so I can get a thinner stream of glue for like these little pieces up here. I want to make sure that it all gets glued down. So I mean on the leg here, on the L, and of course the E, the problem child of the moment. That E is just an errant, evil little letter. Maybe, you know, we can't make it evil, but oof. He is my problem child. Okay, now let me put at least my pin back in here so this bottle doesn't clog up again. And now we're going to try this one more time. Let's try to lay these down. Nicely spaced out, but this time at least I used a slower drying glue so I can still fiddly fart it if I need to. So now I'm going to do this very carefully. Lift off my tape. Whoops. See, the O wants to come up. And the A just went wonky. Or the L, excuse me. I don't know where I got A. So let me fix my O. I'm going to do it facing me a little bit so you guys will see less. But I need to make sure it's straight. Actually, I don't know. That doesn't look like that O. I mean, the L moved at all. So maybe a tiny smidgen, but I think it looks good. It is not perfect, but that's okay. Only God is perfect. The rest of us, we just try. We do our best. And there we have the love. So now we're going to celebrate it. So no, the other one. We're done with you for right now. There we go. Now we're going to lay you down. And then we only have one card left, but we're not going to do that right now. We want to get these done because I have to go find. Now I'm wishing that I had actually told the peanut gallery to bring me the basket of winter dyes because I could use. But no, I think I'll make one of those snowflakes I have stamps work. And there you go. Because that will be, I'm going to do a sentiment stamped on that one, which is a totally different idea than I had originally planned, just because it kind of hit me that I didn't feel right about it. I wasn't feeling that. So I went in a different direction. And truly, even though it's been in an adventure, you know, between mishaps and itsy bitsy spiders coming and visiting, not realizing that the camera is not a water spout. He got a little bit derailed there. But there. So now we have Celebrate Love. Let me clean up my puddle here before I stick something in it like the card. But there we go. We have 2 out of 3 done this way, and I love them. I think they're perfect, even though they were meant for Christmas. But this is how you take something and think outside of the box. And I used it differently, and it works because I'm like, okay, we've got, you know, little Valentines, you know, the little hearts right here. It's still winter. And look at the reindeer looking at the little birdie. Come on, don't tell me that they're not sitting there loving on each other. They're so cute. It was perfect. And then here, you know, with the presents and everything, I mean, there you go. It's just celebrate you. It's a great birthday card. All I have to do is put my sentiment on it, and away we go. Or just anything, any reason to celebrate. So now this one, I'm going to go pull my stamps, and we're going to stamp this one. Okay, give me a second. I'll be right back. Well, I am back with the last card with the trusty niece next to me making slime.
Hi.
Very exciting. Okay, so this is the last of the 3 cards I was making, and I overplayed my hand with this guy to some extent because I knew I wanted to stamp him. And I found the stamps. I actually already have it set up on my trusty little Misty here. And then I was just testing, make sure it was all. Actually, I figured out my problem because I set them up here. Well, here, let me show you. Let me show you the predicament I have. So I have I want to put a little snowflake here. So we'll put him kind of angled right here. And then my sentiment, which I pulled off of my stamp set from Gina K from Stamp Timber. This is Gina K with Simon Says Stamp. And it says winter. It's a really large winter wishes. So it was perfect for just a winter card or a winter birthday. But it was what I really wanted to do. So actually I want to put this a little bit lower and then the snowflake a little bit higher. Great and wonderful. So I have it lined up exactly where I want it. So now what do we do when you set it up? You close it. And there you go. The 3D gets in the way because I'm a dingleberry. So I'm like, all right, that's a problem. So I can pick it up. I just have to really squeeze it down. So I do pick it up, but it's a pain. It's a pain. It's not good. So the good thing is I paid attention to the alignment. I know it's at the 3/4 inch mark, so I need to pull this up and flatten it. So what does that involve? It means I got to take this panel off. I'm getting good at this, okay? Because apparently that, and these are just things, guys, I give it to you real, so that hopefully you're laughing and you're saying, oh my God, at the very least, I'm a better scrapbooker than this woman is. So if I am making you feel better, yay. So I think I did the other one the same way. So this, I used Big Mama. So it actually comes out, if you're careful, if you play, and we have sideline intermission here with the fidget spinner. But I got his here. I got this here, and I'm pulling it up. Actually, if I just play it really careful, I can just pull this right off without doing any damage. So it's just, you know, I'll just have to retape it down. I mean, I could probably get away with not, but I'm going to make sure it stays nice and sturdy. So there we go. I now have, and we can just pull these, all these little glue gumaflachis off. No harm, no foul. And now, look, I have a perfectly stamped card. So if you're going to do something, you buy these and you decide to stamp it, or any time that you're going to do that, make sure if you're going to do something like this, to stamp your card first, and then go ahead and do your, and then put all your layers on. Don't do as the Mad Scrapper does. Do as the Mad Scrapper says. I'm going to move the cute little spinner. Alrighty, I have retrieved Big Mama. Life is great. We are now going to put down our card because, of course, stamping a card is rocket science that everybody, you know, but what the heck. So I'm going to put down several of my magnets, just a couple of these. These are my long ones. I got these guys, mind you, at on Amazon for what it's worth, you know, and then I just put tape around them so that it makes it, whoops, except when you glue. But even then, you just don't try to pull them apart that way because these guys are really brittle. The neodymiums tend to be very brittle and break easily. So I just pull them apart this. Here, let me do that again to show you. So they do that, just slide them apart. And that way you don't risk, if you pull them, you run the risk of snapping one of them or both of them. So there you go. Ooh. So now we are ready. This is lined up the way I want it. So now we are ready to stamp because, again, this is rocket science. So all I've got to do is grab my VersaFine and apply it. And I forgot the cardinal rule of stamping, which is I should have rubbed it up a bit first. But okay, you know, that is what it is. At this point in the game, at the point that I've had to take apart a card so that I can stamp it in the first place, do you think I'm worried about this? It's just like I've already done the epic fails. And just in case, let me put that down right there. So we be ready. So all we have to do is press down. And we should have our sentiments put on very well, maybe not very well. So let's try. I have to press down a little bit more. And we will have it. There we go. Actually, no. There we not go. My goodness. I need one of those little toys everybody has. Except I want, my goodness. You know what I think it is that Dingleberry here did not, may have done not a good job of getting ink on those little ends, and that's why it's not inking. So let's try that again. I just inked them up carefully. And no, except I inked the wrong end. So let me rub it off, get ink on my hand, but it's the inside ones that I have to ink. Okay. And we will do that. There we go. So now, in theory, this is going to look better, right? Oh my goodness, what the heck? What is with this one? You know what I'm thinking? There we go. I got it. But I am thinking that this stamp is thicker than that one because I should not have had that much trouble to stamp that down. But regardless, we have it stamped now. We have our sentiment stamped. Yay! And the crowd goes wild. Whatever. Okay, so we got that. Now, what we need, now all we have to do is add more tape from Big Mama. Because you see, I did pull it up. I mean, I could sit here and just, you know, rub this all off and just start with fresh tape, which I think I will do that way. It just for sure doesn't, you know, like add, you know, make it look bumpy or lumpy or anything. So that just comes off with my fingers. Just really, and I just wash my hands, so that way I don't. Although it is the back of the card, what am I worried about this side getting dirty? Except that I am pinching the other side, and I don't want the other side to get dirty. I'm sorry, I went totally out of focus trying to get this stuff off, making sure it's not on the mat. But yeah, it took me what, not even a minute to get all of these little glue bits off, and it's all great. So now all I have to do is, oh look, more slime. Because we all wanted to see more slime. I know that those are little interludes that you guys were not planning on, but there you go. I'm an indulgent aunt, just like I'm an indulgent wife and I'm an indulgent pet owner. I just indulge everybody. There you go. But let me just add my tape again down, and then we will be done with the blessed card. Yay! At least it's not been as bad as Frankencard. So Frankencard was something else. Okay, and all we do now is just sidle it into place real quick. Like, yes. I think that looks good. Let me just be sure. It looks a little tiny cattywampus, and that's why I had that. So I apologize for that it's facing more me than you. But I want to sidle it over 1 millimeter and then raise it 1 millimeter, because that's all we're talking about. It's just these little specks that I notice that probably nobody else on God's green earth is going to notice. But there we go. And then we press it down. And peeps, there we go. We have our card. It's ready for a sentiment with the little cutouts that I did down here. And I do have to stamp on the back of it. See, I picked up a piece of the glue. And and sign it. And remember, guys, always, if nothing else, if you don't have a stamp that says handmade by whatever, that's fine. Always, an artist always signs their work. So always at least sign and put a year, put a date, because these are our pieces of art. This, okay, so mind you, we're not Picasso, thank God, because I don't like Picasso, or Rembrandt, or or Van Gogh, but this is our art, and we share it, and we make people feel good with it. So always take credit for your artwork, okay? So now we have this guy, and wait, let me run over and grab the other two, so we can have all 3 of the cards together. There we go. So there we go. Our 3 cards all together. I am really pleased, and I have 2 more of these kits that I already got in the mail from Simon Says Stamp. So I will be putting these together. When, I'm not sure, but we'll make some more. But see, again, this is something that was intended for Christmas, and here we are. We've turned it into other seasons, other occasions. I mean, this is great as a birthday, as is this one, because Winter Wishes could be also a birthday card, or it could be just a feel-good. I mean, we have a bunch of cards that are going out this month for everybody that I really missed because I was lame. And I'm finishing those guys up. So that will be hopefully a video that I'll be recording next week and showing off. And everybody that didn't get a Christmas card from us is going to get this one just to make up for it. So I've made a bunch of them. So it's kind of like, okay, I'm sorry, we're lame, we get it. Don't hurt us. But hopefully you guys have a bit of a takeaway from this. As always, hopefully you enjoy it. Hopefully I gave you another perspective in what to do with your card kits. And if you like it, if you got something out of it, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Give me those likes. They help me with my YouTube algorithm so that other people hopefully find me. Why? I mean, you may not want to. You may want to save everybody else. I don't know, Take it how you want. But I do. But thank you so much. Go ahead, please. Give me a like, give me a thumbs up, drop me a note. I do read them. And if you want to see more of this ongoing madness from this total mad woman, mad scrapper, then go ahead and subscribe and ring the bell, and you know when I will be back. Meanwhile, go out, make something beautiful. Do you, all right? Make beautiful things, because we are all capable of that. And otherwise, do not forget that we are all a little mad here. So let's scrap the madness together, okay? I'm going to talk to you guys later. Bye.